Morning all. Morning. As you can see, well, you won't understand, but I've this time last year, I sold my camper van. Wrong thing to do. Bought a 4x4, very nice car, but it didn't give me the flexibility I needed for what I was doing for the photography. So I bought another van. It's this one. It's a Kombi van. This one, as you can see, it's a T6. It's got windows in already. It's a Kombi van. It's got back seats in there, and I'm going to convert it myself this time. Instead of last time I bought the van, it was already done. This time I'm going to do it by myself. The only bit I can't do though is the roof. I need somebody to actually do that roof, and it's too big a job for me. All the work I can do, none of it's too difficult, but I'm sort of constrained by lead times. Busy time of year, everybody's wanting camper vans and things done. 2 camper vans, summer after all. So it's at least September before I can get the roof done. Several other companies were November, some January. This is the earliest one I found, up near Honiton in Devon, where I'm going to get the roof done. So that's at least 6 to 8 weeks away as a minimum, maybe longer. I've started to order, in fact have ordered the electrics. Found a company that will, if you give them a design, they will build the loom for you. Then I only have to install it all. But that's a lead time of 6 to 8 weeks on that one. So in the meantime, first job this morning, I'm going to investigate taking out those seats. There's a bulkhead behind the seats which I'm going to need to remove. And those, of course, will be sold along with the floor mat that's there and all these seat fixings and what have you. Somebody will want those and they'll be valuable to somebody, so they'll be sold. And in the meantime, then I can do insulation and have a look at that anyway. Insulation, sound deadening on the sides of the van, carpeting or carpeting, new floor, and there's quite a bit I can do. Then once the roof and the wiring's there, then it's cabinets and bed and water and gas, all of those bits and pieces. So it's going to take some time. Oh, it's a noisy tractor. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be fun doing it. It's going to give me a project to work on, and I'm quite looking forward to it. So yes, here it is as it stands. Just over 2 years old, low mileage, and a very nice van. I see what I can do to mess it up in the interview. Probably will. I'll make a few mistakes along the way, I'm sure, but the end result, hopefully November, December time, it might be done. We can always hope. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I stand. Next thing then, get changed and go and start ripping things out of the back. See you in a bit. Right, come out. It's heavier than it looks, this thing. There we go. Is that going to stand? Yes, I think it is. Just move it out of the way a bit. Or put it round that way maybe. There we go. Right, well that's the bulkhead out. It turned out to be really easy. It was only sort of a compression fit, top and bottom, so that means there's no fixings to take out of the top and bottoms. So often when there's the bulkhead, there's sort of fixings you've got to take out and often angle grind out, and that's, luckily don't have that bother. It was only fixed down the side here into the C pillars where the seat belts are with these screws, 8 of them. So that was quite straightforward, and it's in perfectly good nick. It's sort of stretch carpeted on this side, and that's the side that went into the seats, and then there's just the sort of hard durable plastic side, and it's in very good condition, so somebody will make good use of that somewhere, and so I'm pleased with that. I'm not going to do much today because it's forecast for 30-degree heat down here, and there's a temperature warning today, so it's already getting hot, and that's why I started early, because it is very hot. And I don't intend to spend hours inside a black tin box on a boiling hot day. Not a good move. So I'll investigate the side panels and see what we need for sound deadening and insulation, and then call it a day today. because the next thing is sort of, once I found out what I need for insulation, then is ordering it and getting that stuff sort of delivered, and I can do that indoors comfortably. So yeah, next things, let's get this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to need the drill, so let's get that out of the way, and let's get this side panel off. This last one here out. There we go. Right. Right, so what have we got? These are just hardboard. I wonder whether I can reuse these, because they're going to be carpeted. The walls are going to be carpeted. I wonder if I can just reuse these, because they're perfectly good condition. This van hasn't seen much action at all. Apparently we used to have dogs, and they carried these dogs around in the back of the van. Let me just pop that there, and certainly my sandals come undone, sorry. Certainly they haven't seen much use, because there's no marks on them whatsoever. They're perfectly clean. And as they are fixed by, well, quite a lot, as you see, quite a number of fixings there for each panel. That's just one panel. They're firmly put in place, and the bed will be here, the seat and the bed will be here, so it's not going to have pressure on it. It's not going to see heavy traffic. Whether this, when carpeted, will be sufficient, or do I need to replace this with some slightly heavier duty ply? I'm going to make that decision later. But we've got some sound deadening, just, well, a sort of cursory sound deadening on there. Nothing, of course, on here. And there is a bit of, now again, it's a bit of a cursory thing. There's a narrow strip there, and some blocks of here, but the vast majority isn't sound deadened at all. So we'll need, and I've got to assume much the same on the other side. So I'm going to need, because the roof of the van's going, that's going to be replaced, but the side panels, the side doors, sorry, the side walls, the door panel for the sliding door, and down this side the same equivalent panel, and down there where the cabinets will be, that will all have to be sound deadened. So we're looking at something of the region of what, about 5 square meters, say 10 square meters would be more than ample, I think. And that should do the job, but I can order up what I need for that now. So there'll be some sound deadening and some insulation, which we'll look at once I get it and put it in. The carpeting won't take place until after the roof is done. I can get the electrics in, majority of it, but again, some of that will depend once the roof is done as well. Oh, and of course, let's just move out of here, move that panel to one side. There's also a panel on here which will have to come off, and it's the same materials, the same plies, same fixings, so that will have to be sound deadened up there as well. Have to be done. Well, I just had an email running down the stairs to say that the parcels have been delivered, and yes, they have. Well, thank you very much. They're here, so I can start putting in the linings. I don't know what to say. They came very, very quickly. I think probably better start tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow it is. I'll go and open the packets. Right. Oh, where's my cup of tea? I made a cup of tea. Where's it gone? Let's go and see where it is. Oh, there it is, up the stairs. Hang on, cup of tea. Hey, can't go without your cup of tea. Back into the garage. Cup of tea. Ah, lovely. Right. Let's put my cup of tea down there. Well, it's arrived, as you can see. It's all here. The 2mm first coat, the second one, and the thermo. Let me bring you round to this side. Right. Okay, so yes, this is the 2mm one, which is the sort of first layer. This is just sound deadening, and it's going to go into these panels. These panels have already got a little bit on, so they're going to be covered with the sound deadening. and that goes throughout. So there's a pack there. It doesn't look like a big pack, but there's quite a lot of sheets in there, and it's really quite a hefty pack, that. So that's the first layer. Second layer is this one, and this goes on, and it's thermoacoustic, it's called, and it's about 10 millimeters thick, self-adhesive again, and that goes over the top of the previous one. So that's just sound deadening. This then is thermo and sound deadening, and that again goes over all the panels. And just squeeze that back in there, and then I've got this, which is a bit like loft insulation, I guess, made out of plastic bottles, recycled plastic bottles, and this is, as you can see, quite a thick fleece, thermo fleece, that will fill in these sort of voids where I can get my hand in here and around the corner of those, and down in the gaps around the wheels, all the way down the side, all the way down that side as well, into the doors. So by the end of that process, which is quite a straightforward process, the van should be quieter, and it should be thermally better. Well, I should say also, I'll have to clean the whole thing before I start putting this material in place. This doesn't require any sticking. It's just pushed into the voids. The others, as you saw, are self-adhesive, very tacky self-adhesive. It's good weather to do it actually in warm time, so it bends well, because it's going to have to go over the, if you can see from there, go over those wheel arches as well and mould round. But of course the van's been used, and there's other things that have happened in manufacture and what have you, and so you need to clean the surfaces, and this is just a brake cleaner in this instance, and it should, and indeed says, will remove all sorts of grease and surface dirt from metal parts, so that should be ideal. I'll be doing it outside here, open there. I'll have the side panel open. I'm going to do it in the open here, so air should be blowing through comfortably. So yeah, so knee pads. I'm going to take these panels out today. I've already got the panel out, you've seen on that side. Taking out the toolkit over here, which I'll do now. It's all slippy. When I bought the van, they've cleaned it with silicone cleaner, and everything's so slippy. Can't grip it. There we go. That should be, there we go, free to come out. Right, that's that done then. Back to this, and I'll come back here once these panels are off, and we'll start putting the stuff on. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Oh, toolkit, that would be helpful. That's it, the last one. Right, that's it. Let's go. Right, get out of there, what's this? Right, there we are, coming up to 6 o'clock now. Been at it all day doing this. The panels now have all had the sound deadening, the 2mm sound deadening, and all the panels on the wheel arches as well, on both sides, and down both the side panel there and the door panel. On top of that, they've had the thermo lining there, which is sort of more loosely put on. It doesn't really matter, it's going to be hidden, as in the bottom area here is hidden by the fleece. I'm waiting for the adhesive at the moment. It hasn't arrived yet. Spray adhesive, which is high temperature spray adhesive, meant to hold its attack up to something like 120 degrees, and that will fix the fleece on that panel on there before I put the cover panel over it. So I have already, I don't know if you can see, I've already temporarily put the covers over these panels here, because that holds the fleece in. So they've all got the fleece inside. So it's a good day's work. The longest job was getting these panels done here over the wheel arch. Doesn't matter too much, because that's going to be ultimately when the carpet comes down, the carpet liner comes down, that'll cover that, and they won't be seeing, as long as it does its job and it feels smooth, which it does. It looks awful, that's only because it's such a weird shape. It's a matter of cutting little grooves and putting little bits in to cover it all. Once the four-way stretch carpet's gone over that, you won't notice it at all, which is excellent. So, a good day's work, and hopefully it will reap the rewards. Nothing much else to say. So next time round we'll be spraying those bits on and putting the side panels on and doing taking the bed out. All good fun, all good fun. Coming along. I'll see you next time round. So I'm going to finish this video here. So the next step, those panels will be done. I'm not going to show that again. The next video will be when we're taking the floor out. All right, so end of video 1. Knew you'd be impressed. Bye. See you later.